Takano with us. Over to you.
Honorable Consul General of Japan in Mumbai, Mr. JNTO, thank you for joining our press conference today. General Manager of ANA India, Mr. Taki, thank you for the sponsoring Dear Son trip to Japan. Our dear media partners, thank you for your time and joining us today. मेरा नाम केंच तकानो है, मैं यहाँ JNTO दिल्ली ऑफिस का फेडरल एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर हूँ. धन्यवाद. We invited Dear Son to Japan recently. Actually, this is the third trip to Japan with Dear Son for me. This time, Dear Son went to Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and Hokkaido. As you know, Dear Son shared beautiful Japan through her Instagram and Facebook. Why we requested Dear Son to go to Japan? Because I'm sure Dear Son's image is clean, honest, and beautiful. Now you know, this is 100% same as Japan and myself. Clean Dear Son shared clean Japan. Honest Dear Son shared honest Japan. Beautiful Dear Son shared beautiful Japan. So Dear Son is best celebrity for Japan. You can enjoy special TV program on 16 February at 4:30 p.m. and 17 February at 7 p.m. on the Times Now. Don't miss it. I'd like to thank my personal friend, Mr. Jason. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad. I hope many of the Indian tourists will visit Japan more and more after watching our special TV program. Dear Son will show you promo movie later. So I will cut my speech now. Once again, thank you so much everyone. Dhanyavad.
Help to build great friendship between India and Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together in welcoming on stage the Consul General of Japan in Mumbai, none other than Mr. JNTO with us.
Thank you very much. The recent visit to Japan by Ms. Mirza, one of the most popular and famous actresses in Bollywood, surely has very explosive impact to promote people-to-people exchange as well as cultural interactions and also tourism promotions between Japan and India. I am very, very sure. I sincerely commend and appreciate JNTO, Japan National Organization, Japan National Tourism Organization, as well as the sponsors, All Nippon Airlines, for realizing this very fantastic project in which Ms. Mirza recently visited Japan. And as Consul General of Japan stationing in this area, I'd like to point out three things very briefly. One of them is updated in the Japan bilateral relationship. The second, India and Mumbai in the 21st century. And the third is future India and Japan relationship. First, the updated bilateral relationship. India and Mumbai have been special strategic and global partners. Maybe you can find, in your press kit, my document, which includes the key factors. As I mentioned, India and Japan exchanges prime ministers every year respectively. And in October last year, Indian Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi visited Japan very successfully. Japan and India have come to a new level of their relationship, including security. Therefore, we call relationship as the shared security, shared destiny, and shared prosperity. And economically, there are about 1,441 Japanese companies investing in India. And in the offshore development assistance field, India is the largest recipient of Japan's ODA. Half of the population of India will be middle income group in the early 2030s. There are two more things. India would like to host Olympic Games in 2032, which is a very dreamy project. And lastly, in accordance with a certain survey by Toronto University in Canada, Mumbai city, this city will be #1 population city in the world in the year 2050. Are you ready? It is very easy to say that there will be very huge challenges, including urban planning, public transportation, as well as environmental issues and others. What I want to say here is
our exciting trip. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fortunate to have, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome on stage Mr. Yasuo Taki, General Manager of ANA India, here with us tonight. Warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaste. Namaste. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. मेरा नाम Taki है. My name is Yasuo Taki. I've been in India for the past 4 years as a country manager of ANA India. I'm honored to give a speech to introduce ANA on such a wonderful occasion like today. Firstly, I'd like to express my gratitude to JNTO for choosing on Dia-san's Japan trip. Well, our official name is All Nippon Airways, also known as ANA. Nippon is a Japanese word which means Japan. Since the word Nippon is unfamiliar to people outside Japan, we put a tagline, Inspiration of Japan, along with our company logo. In 1952, which is 66 years ago, we were just a small startup company with only 2 helicopters. When I joined ANA about 30 years ago, we had just become the international operator. Prior to this, we were allowed to fly on domestic only by regulation of the government. According to the media reports on these days, some airlines are facing difficulties to make profits. But we have also experienced severe challenges for years since we started international operations. And even some said we should give up international business and stick to Japan domestic operations only. But since ANA joined Star Alliance in 1999, we have learned a lot from member airlines, and thanks to support by customers, we've been awarded the 5-star rating by the Skytrax World Airline Rating for 6 consecutive years. We have also been selected as Airline of the Year for 3 times till today.
The diva who has traveled to Japan and truly feels Japan is tyrannical, magical, adventurous, and also beautiful, just like her. The people, the place, the food makes a truly perfect destination for a perfect vacation in a country which nourishes your soul. So ladies and gentlemen, join your hands in welcoming the diva, the gorgeous, the actor, the producer, Born Free Entertainment, UN Environment Goodwill Ambassador with us, gorgeous Miss Mirza. I would request ma'am to please kindly share your experience to this lovely, beautiful place. Namaste, good evening friends. I'm here to share with you what a truly magical, exciting and wonderful time I had during my recent visit to Japan. My relationship with Japan is not new. It's one that I've had through various other collaborations in the past. And I will never forget the first time I went to Japan. I came back and everyone at home asked me, so what was it like? What is your first impression? That one takeaway that you come back home with? And I said, you know, it's really incredible how courteous, polite, and disciplined the people of Japan are. Whether it is the way they greet you, which is by bowing, and we of course do the namaste and we bow ourselves, so I guess we have that in common. But just, and that courtesy and that discipline transcends into almost all aspects of the country. And this trip was truly special because I got to share it with my husband, who loves Japan, and he was very, very envious of me that I'd gone twice before in the past and he hadn't been able to accompany me. And we shared some truly magical moments on this incredible journey within Japan. As was mentioned in my introduction, when I'm asked to speak of Japan, I usually use the words magical, adventurous, fun, and a truly enriching experience. And I promise you it is no exaggeration. You have to go there to witness for yourself how gratifying this experience is to the soul, of course, but also to the stomach. And it's super fun. My trip started with Tokyo City, which is one of the most cosmopolitan, vibrant, global cities in the world. It's of course very well connected. The local transport is extremely convenient and easy to access. But true to my nature, it started with interaction with nature, and I was most happy. Whenever Ken-san tells me that we have to go to a garden, I'm always happy. Especially if it's in the middle of a very, very vibrant and of course urban development. And the Hapon Garden, as you will see in what will follow now, is a truly magical place and one that I would recommend anybody who's going to Japan must visit, especially if you're in Tokyo. The other really cool spot that was for me like an out-of-body experience, it was like art installations that heighten the five senses. It's something that has become very famous globally, but I had experienced it for the first time. And I was truly blown away by what when art and digital medium come together, the kind of immersive experience it can create. And I in fact even told some of the artists there that it's almost like awakening your consciousness. You feel like you've been through a very deep, meditative and soulful experience. And I think that's what's the one thing that really resonates deeply for me when I think of Japan, because whether it's the tea ceremony and the way they serve the tea and they make the tea, that's so meditative and poetic and beautiful. I have to share a very interesting anecdote with you, which I think will be a wonderful take home, because it was for me. While the master of tea during the ceremony was, after she had done serving me the tea and doing it so artfully and so beautifully, I asked her, how long does it take you to learn how to master this art of making and serving your tea? And she said, a lifetime. And that for me is quintessential Japan. That in every aspect of everything that they do, whether it is the way they build their cities, or they build their infrastructure, or the way they treat people, it's all an aspiration for perfection and an aspiration for beauty and art and culture and goodness. And that for me is what Japan is all about.
Thank you so much for joining us. There's a lot of fun that awaits you this evening, but a film that I'm very proud of. I got to shoot it with a wonderful team who braved all kinds of weather along with us, of course, and filmed it with me, and we had a blast doing it. And I hope you have. It makes Japan even more exciting and what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, Ken-san? But I just hope it makes Japan even more exciting for you, because I think any experience becomes what it is through the eyes of the person who's experienced it, and I had a great time. Thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot to thank some people, which is very necessary. I can't lose this opportunity. I'd like to thank ANA for a truly comfortable flight. And it was so convenient, and the hospitality was impeccable, and I really enjoyed my flight both ways. Thank you so much. And I'd really like to thank JNTO for this very special relationship. It's one that I respect, and I hope will endure time, and we will go forward as friends and partners. And yes, Ken-san, I hope that we can do more collaborations for film productions and for other kinds of entertainment. Food is also a very, very big area of relationship that we can build on. I know a lot of people at home and in my friend circle, and of course in Mumbai and in India, who really enjoy Japanese food. So that's something that we can really, really look to doing more of. But thank you for your friendship, and thank you for this partnership.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your wonderful and mesmerizing experience in Japan. So yes, here we head towards the most beautiful EV we all have been waiting for since long. So can we please have the EV? This is going to be a truly special occasion, and I'm so happy you're going to join me and discover how Japan surprises. Alright, so to enjoy more of that fantastic experience which will be aired on Times Now on 16th of February from 4 p.m. So please don't miss it. Over to you, ma'am. We're gonna have some Q&As.
Okay. Are you all asking me questions or is somebody else going to ask me? Are you okay, great.
Hi, this is
How are you? Good to see you again.
Ariman. Here you also got into film production, so what are your plans for your next film? Do you plan to actually shoot it in Japan? That's point number one. And point number two is you like fashion, you like food, so what are the special gifts and the cuisines you try over there?
So I think there's great opportunity to do collaborations with Japan for filming. Of course, I think one would need to create a subject that would, find a place in the city or in the place. But I think it's a destination that it's easily accessible, and I do know that the government is very keen to bring film productions to Japan. And there are different times of the year that offer really unique and beautiful and picturesque landscapes, like Hokkaido in the snow, so there's Sapporo, which is so conveniently accessible. Then of course there is the whole cherry blossom season, which is absolutely spectacular. But I would really like to choose a story and a narrative that weaves in the local place. Something like Lost in Translation, which was such a wonderful film. So that's the first part of your answer to your question. The second and the third is there are incredible local designers in Japan, especially hand-woven and handcrafted garments are really, really wonderful, and there is an entire range of those to see and of course own. Food is, like I said, it's a gastronomical haven. It's a place that offers not just world-class Japanese cuisine, and you could eat it at any place. Like it could be a fast food, it could be a small eatery at a railway station, or it could be like a fine dining experience. I think this gentle standard and the quality of the food is exceptional. But the exciting thing is, like I said, it's a cosmopolitan place, especially Tokyo, so you get to also experience world cuisines. In fact, we had a Spanish meal the night before we departed. We even tried Thai. We even tried, of course, Italian, some exceptional Italian food. So yeah, it's a place that there's Indian food as well for those who don't want to experiment. And of course, I would wrinkle up my nose every time somebody would say, let's go to an Indian restaurant. I was like, no, I've come to Japan, I would like to experience Japanese culture. Please don't take me to an Indian restaurant. But there are very many people who like to stick to dal chawal and butter chicken and naan, or biryani. So there's enough options for them as well. Hi. Have you recovered from the trip that you had?
I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah, I know.
I just asked.
Should we just go back? I was seeing your Insta stories and your Insta page. It's looking so beautiful. I think you should go back.
Yeah, likewise. No, but lovely to see you again.
Thank you.
Not that I didn't bombard you with enough questions last time, but I was just wondering. So I think Japan is a destination for, the more experienced traveler, let's say. There's a lot more to explore and see and do apart from, general tourist spots, taking a picture at this temple or shrine. And so I was just curious and wanted to know what was your favorite experience that was non-touristy, if you get my question.
I do. Well, I did, my trail this time was a little catering to a wider tourist population. I think the one thing that I'm definitely going back for, and I've told Ken-san this, is to experience the wildlife in Japan. They have some of the world's most extraordinary wildlife habitats, and that's an area that I did not get to experience this time, and I want to go back, and you have to take me back. So that I can experience the wildlife there. I tried to go, but it was very far away and it would like throw us off our schedule. But if I have to speak of one, I think just being in Hokkaido was very, very special. For me, you know, it was like winter wonderland. Even if we weren't doing any of the skiing or sporting activities, just being there, the sense of openness, the sense of beauty, and just the crispness of the air was so elevating. It was beautiful.
It was like a postcard.
It really was. It really was a postcard.
And really, what was the reaction of Indians over there? Are there in plenty over there?
Japan has a healthy population of Indian people. In fact, we met up with Sahil's friend from university who lives in Japan with his wife and his daughter. And that was really nice. So, yeah, my husband seems to have a friend anywhere we go in the world. I guess that's what you get when you study abroad. Just that cross-cultural contact and communication. But yes, there are Indians in Japan who are doing exceedingly well and very happy to be there.
And will you be doing social cause if you are being asked to do over there?
You know, in the space of environmentalism, I think there is a lot of positive action happening in Japan, and there's a lot that we can also embrace in India. I think it was touched upon, sir. Did you speak about waste management as one of the key areas that they've really excelled in, that we can learn some from? Or plastic waste management, or just the way they kind of maintain their civic culture. It's really incredible to see how clean Japan is. And it's a very populous country, so their density of consumption is high, just like India. But they have achieved cleanliness despite that density of consumption. So that's something I would love to learn more from Japan about, and perhaps find ways to replicate that in our country. Because waste management is like at the top of my priority list. As a citizen and as an ambassador to UN Environment, I think we have a huge problem staring in our face, and we all need to do more. Definitely need to do more. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I already made a question. If in Japan, if you select somewhere, you visited Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Sapporo, I want to ask you if you'd like to do your movie shooting somewhere in Japan in the future. What do you think? What is it?
Where would it be? Like I said, I would like to do a story that embraces the place and is a part of the narrative. So I guess it would be Kyoto or Sapporo. But Kyoto for sure. There's so much beauty there. And it has everything. Osaka so close by, so you get the urban life as well. And then of course if you want the beauty of tradition and old culture and old Japanese architecture, you have that as well. So Kyoto and Osaka. No more questions? Okay. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for your participation. I hope you felt excitement and wonders through the art stories. So be sure to find your own surprises in Japan and the near future. I would request our dignitaries to please kindly join us on stage. Can I request everyone once again to kindly put your hands together in welcoming Mr. Ricardo, Mr. Noda, Mr. Tati on stage. Let's come on, everyone. Can you use your applause for all the dignitaries?
Close. Close. Diya ji, please. Come closer. Judge, please.
Thank you once again to everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again for joining us for this lovely evening. So now it's the time.